Welcome everybody to Film Addicts. I'm Chili.
I'm Kent.
And we just finished watching Fast Times at Ridgemont High. This is the Criterion edition. So this is the X-rated version that they finally restored and put on Blu-ray. And we're going to talk shit about this movie, and please comment after. If you guys seen this film, what are your thoughts on it? Hit a like. And what did you think?
I don't think I wouldn't have framed it as talking shit because that'll set some false expectations. I have no shit to talk about when it comes to this movie at all. I mean, this movie...
We're talking good shit.
Good shit. It encompasses, like, my high school life. Like, pretty much to a T, even though it was set pretty much in the 80s, right? So, I've had friends that wanted to get with a girl, and pretty much the girl wasn't feeling the guy, or like similar situations that happened in this movie. And, like, friends that were working at, like, a burger joint that thought they were, like, big shit because they had, like, a manager or, like, a shift lead supervisor, little bullshit burger
working
flipping.
in the mall.
Yeah, just because they have a little bit of extra cash, which is nice when you're in high school, right? Like a little side gig goes a long way. And everything that kind of happens in this movie, I felt like I was engaged. Like I cared about what was going on with the characters because the actors did very well. The writing was also well done. It felt like the conversations actually happened, like it was like you could see it happening, like real life like scenarios. And a lot of movies that try to do the what would you call it, like a little, not slice of life, what we call this type of movie,
A coming of age.
A lot of them are written so poorly, and it's like it just doesn't fit. Like you could tell, like, okay, they really wouldn't be saying this in high school. Like where are they pulling this shit out of their ass from?
Well, Cameron Crowe, who wrote the screenplay, infiltrated the school and was, hanging around classes and doing all kinds of research and the way kids were speaking and everything like that. That's why he kept a real pulse to what was going on in this generation. But like Kent said, these are reoccurring things that happen to every generation in this period. The teenage years and whatnot. I felt like all the characters were really thought out, and everyone was important. It wasn't just like there was one guy. Like there's different cliques, of course, and one guy is the main focus, and there's like other people behind them. For the most part, they were all encompassed as important. Whether Jeff Spicoli and his surf buddies. You get to hear the other guys speak, and they're all kind of equal. Of course, he is the main focus of that group. And then you had Damone and, Mark, who was dating the Stacy. That was like a clique, but they were kind of equal at FaceTime and everything like that.
There were so many solid jokes in this movie as well, like one-liners, like between the interactions with Mr. Han, the uptight teacher, and Spicoli, and other characters, like the dialogue that was being shared. I found myself laughing a lot during this movie, which is why I'm going to probably be rewatching it.
The music was great.
The music was solid. We need to get the soundtrack for this movie because it felt like the music came after the movie, and like the music was made just for the scenes in the movie. Like that's how well it fit.
Some really good songs that went with certain scenes, like the Jackson Browne song. The Led Zeppelin song was funny. Damone said, "Pick, you want to get laid with her." Throw on side one of Led Zeppelin 4, and he puts on Physical Graffiti. Things like that. Is really cool. I like. This is the movie where you first saw all these kind of actors before they were really big. So you had like Forrest Whitaker in there, who played the football star. Of course, Sean Penn, Eric Stoltz, who was his buddy, and the other stoner guy, Who played Goose.
Yeah, I remember you brought that up.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards. So I mean, there's just countless people in this film, and they're like, I guess they're nobodies. Nicolas Cage was in here too.
Right, and you just kind of, and you just notice there's like these little like gems throughout the movie, like the actors who became like way bigger later on, and there isn't, it's not like a stereotypical. There's a bully, right, and it's just like they have like a one dimension. Like all these characters, they have conflict, right? There's the good and there's the bad. And it's down to earth in the fact that that's how day-to-day life is. It's not black and white like a lot of these coming-of-age type movies are, where it's just like, oh, guy wants to get with girl, girl's pretty and popular, she's a cheerleader, guy's new in town, or vice versa, switch the roles.
The formula thing that they would do for teenage films. It sort of just, and people would buy it. It was more like junk food, whereas this dealt with some issues like no other teenage film would do, like abortion. There was the abortion scene, there was the masturbation scene, fantasy thing, you know, all kinds of shit there that they were kind of pushing in this movie, which wasn't pushed before, which was really cool.
And I'm sure you could relate with it. Like, I mean, how many of you were in a relationship where you said, oh, I could do better, I'm not feeling this person anymore, I'm gonna dump them. And then come to find, they dump you first. Like, they were thinking the same thing. And it's just, they're like, it's the relatability for me. That's what makes this movie so solid, is I can see myself in multiple characters. Like
the bros before hoes.
Even Whitaker. I had somebody like that was borrowing my car pretty much without my permission, later to find that the transmission was not acting how it should have been acting. And there's just, again, there's just so many things that I could relate with, and I feel like so many others
Was Damone an asshole, though, for what he did?
Damone? The guy who was sleeping. Yeah. That's debatable, because then there's the whole code, right? Like, bros before hoes, right? Like, he's your friend. You know that, like, this guy has been cheesing over this girl. But the girl, she didn't make the first move. She was like the predator, right? She knew her target. She
was becoming slutty.
She was pursuing him, and then she had that realization, which I'm sure a lot of girls do, where like, you know, there's a difference between, you know, like sex and like having a relationship, and they're not like one and the same. So a lot of these guys were just having sex with her, and she wanted a relationship, and like she's like, what
that was at the end. That was at the end.
But even in the beginning, though, the older guy slept with her.
Well, she never called her back.
Never called her back, and she was getting all jaded. And I feel like that's why a lot of girls end up breaking guys' hearts, or vice versa, because they get hurt early on in life, and they're like, out of spite, I'm going to get the next one.
But what did Damone say to Mark? He said, "Girl, you'll know that a girl will want to screw you in the first 5 minutes, or the first, you know, whatever." And when he saw her at the restaurant, he was bringing back the wallet. He was just like, hello. And then he was just like, yeah, you better go now. Right? Because he
shooed him away, because they had that eye contact.
He picked up on the vibe, and so he already knew, you know, I mean, because they kind of like planted that. And so that was really cool. I thought the movie was great. It was a classic as far as a Criterion movie. I was surprised that they would actually choose this one to, really put all the supplements and all the mastering it and making it look and sound good. But it is a worthy film. It really should be viewed over and over. I think it's a film that, you know, it's timeless.
And I think when you watch it as an adult, right, and like you're older, you're wiser. You find it so hilarious, because you see these situations and you know better, and you know where it's going to lead because you have that experience. So watching these people struggle, right? I think I watched this movie like in junior high, and I thought, well, this is pretty funny. But as an adult, like as somebody that's been through all this high school shit, it hits differently.
Well, that's a great film then, you know, because every time you watch a movie like this, and then you get something else out of it. So there you go. So that's our take.
What are we rating it? What are we doing? Like out of 5?
Out of 5, I'm giving it 4.
I would I'm gonna also give it a 4. It's
Right.
a solid movie. I'm recommend watch.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
And what do we do here? We do that like. Don't forget to like.
Like this video. Give us a thumbs up, please. Share this video and comment below. Did you see this movie? Have you been like your head under a rock, not seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High? Do you have a good scene that you remember? Leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you guys next time.